gosh, I don't know if you guys heard me at all during that. We are reading Dante's Inferno again. We are starting at Canto 3. We are going for an hour. If we are in the middle of a canto when that hour mark hits, then we will finish that canto and pick up on the next one next week, hopefully also on a Wednesday. But if not Wednesday, just sometime next week. And we will continue like that until we read the book. I only have the first book in the Divine Comedy, so I only have Dante's Inferno. At some point, maybe uh, when I finish Dante's Inferno, maybe I will pick up the other books in the Divine Comedy for you all to read, for me to read for you guys. But for now, we're starting with Canto 3 of Dante's Inferno. And as I did last time, I will be reading the short kind of recap paragraph at the beginning of the page and then the actual poem. So, as the two poets... here we go. Okay. As the two poets enter the vestibule that leads to hell itself, Dante sees the inscription above the gate and hears the screams of anguish from the damned souls. Rejected by God and not accepted by the powers of hell, the first group of souls are nowhere. Because of their cowardly refusal to make a choice in life, their punishment is to follow a banner at a furious pace forever, and to be tormented by flies and hornets. The pilgrim recognizes several of these shades, but mentions none by name. Next they come to the river Acheron, where they are greeted by the infernal boatman, Charon. Among those doomed souls who are to be ferried across the river, Charon, the ferryman, sees the living man and challenges him, but Virgil lets it be known that his companion must pass. Then across the landscape rushes a howling wind, which blasts the pilgrim out of his senses, and he falls to the ground. I am the way into the doleful city. I am the way into eternal grief. I am the way to a forsaken race. Justice it was that moved my great Creator, divine omnipotence created me, and highest wisdom joined the primal love. Before me nothing but eternal things were made, and I shall be last, eternally. Abandon every hope, all you who enter. I saw these words spelled out in somber colors, inscribed along the ledge above a gate. Master, I said, these words I see are cruel. He answered me, speaking with experience. Now here you must leave all distrust behind. Let all your cowardice die on this spot. We are at the place where earlier I said you could expect to see the suffering race of souls who lost the good of intellect. Placing his hand on mine, smiling at me in such a way that I was reassured, he led me into those mysteries. Here sighs and cries and shrieks of lamentation echoed throughout the starless air of hell. At first these sounds, resounding, made me weep. Tongues confused, a language strained in anguish. With cadence of anger, shrill outcries, and raucous groans that joined with the sounds of hands, raising a whirling storm that turned itself forever through that air of endless black, like grains of sand swirling when a whirlwind blows. And I, in the midst of all this circling horror, began, Teacher, what are these sounds I hear? What souls are these so overwhelmed by grief? And he to me, this wretched state of being is the fate of those sad souls who lived a life, but lived it with no blame and with no praise. They are mixed with that repulsive choir of angels, neither faithful nor unfaithful to their God, who undecided stood but for themselves. Heaven, to keep its beauty, cast them out, but even hell itself would not receive them, for fear the damned might glory over them. And I, Master, what torments do they suffer that force them to lament so bitterly? He answered, I will tell you in few words. These wretches have no hope of truly dying, and this blind life they lead is so abject it makes them envy every other fate. The world will not record their having been there. Heaven's mercy and its justice turn from them. Let's not discuss them. Look and pass them by. And so I looked, and I saw a kind of banner, rushing ahead, whirling with aimless speed, as though it would not ever take a stand. Behind it, an interminable train of souls pressed on, so many that I wondered how death could have undone so great a number. When I had recognized a few of them, I saw the shade of the one who must have been the coward who had made the great refusal. At once I understood, and I was sure this was that sect of evil souls who were hateful to God and to his enemies. These wretches, who had never truly lived, went naked, and were stung and stung again by the hornets and the wasps that circled them, and made their faces run with blood in streaks. Their blood mixed with their tears dripped to their feet, and disgusting maggots collected in the pus. This is kind of gross. I'm going to be completely honest. This is a real gross description. I love it. And when I looked beyond this crowd, I saw a throng upon the shore of a wide river, which made me ask, Master, I would like to know, who are these people, and what law is this that makes those souls so eager for the crossing, as I can see even in this dim light? And he, all this will be made plain to you as soon as we shall come to stop a while upon the sorrowful shore of Acheron. And I, with eyes cast down in shame, for fear that I perhaps had spoken out of turn, said nothing more until we reached the river. And suddenly, coming toward us in a boat, a man of years whose ancient hair was white, shouted at us, Woe to you, perverted souls! Give up all hope of ever seeing heaven. I come to lead you to the other shore, into eternal darkness, ice, and fire. And you, the living soul, you over there, get away from all these people who are dead. But when I saw, I did not move aside. He said, Another way, by other ports, not here, shall you pass. To reach the other shore, a lighter skiff than this must carry you. And my guide, Charon, this is no time for anger. It is so willed. There where the power is. There where the power is for what is willed. That's all you need to know. These words brought silence to the woolly cheeks of the ancient steersman of the livid marsh, whose eyes were set in glowing wheels of fire. But all those souls there, naked in despair, changed color, and their teeth began to chatter at the sound of his announcement of their doom. They were cursing God, cursing their own parents, the human race, the time, the place, their seed of their beginning, and their day of birth. Then all together, weeping bitterly, they pack themselves along the wicked shore that waits for every man who fears not God. The devil, Charon, it's gonna be pronounced a bunch of different ways. Guys, I don't know how to pronounce the ferryman's name. The devil, Charon, with the eyes of glowing coals, summons them all together with a signal, and with an oar he strikes the lagged sinner. As in autumn, when the leaves begin to fall, one after the other, until the branch is witness to the spoil of spread on the ground, so did the evil seed of Adam's fall, drop from that shore to the boat one at a time, at the signal, like the falcon to its lure. Away they go across the darkened waters, and before they reach the other side to land, a new throng starts collecting on this side. My son, the gentle master said to me, all those who perished in the wrath of God assemble here from all the parts of earth. They want to cross the river. They are eager. It is divine justice that spurs them on, turning the fear they have into desire. A good soul never comes to make this crossing, so, If Charon grumbles at the sight of you, you see now that his words are really what his words are really saying. He finished speaking, and the grim terrain shook violently, and the fright it gave me even now in recollection makes me sweat. Out of the tear-drenched land a wind arose, which blasted forth into a reddish light, knocking my senses out of me completely, and I fell as one falls, tired, into sleep. That's so fun. It's so fun. I really love reading this book. Oh yeah, you also get my commentary. Have fun with that. I really love reading this book, as I said in the previous stream, as somebody who is not Christian, who does not believe in the Christian God, because it gives a really great insight, in my opinion, into how some people view hell and heaven, and I really love that this book has shaped how so many people see hell, because it's Bible fan fiction. It's really old fan fiction of the Bible. Like Virgil was an actual real life poet. There's names of actual real life people in this book, and there's also mention of like the Greek pantheon, Charon, the ferryman, Acheron. These are all things inspired by Hades, uh, the underworld, and it's so interesting to me to see that in something that is so heavily Christian themed, because it really puts into perspective the kind of shift between the two pantheons in ancient Rome and Greece, because there was a time where the Christian pantheon didn't exist. It's very interesting for me to see stuff like this. So yeah, I really like this book so far, and we shall now continue reading it. Canto 4. Waking from his swoon, the pilgrim is led by Virgil. I keep trying to say Vigil. I am so sorry. Is led by Virgil to the first circle of hell, known as Limbo, where the sad shades of the virtuous non-Christians dwell. The souls here, including Virgil, suffer no physical torment, but they must live in desire without hope of seeing God. Virgil tells about Christ's descent into hell and his salvation of several Old Testament figures. The poets see a light glowing in the darkness, and they proceed toward it. They are met by the four greatest, other than Virgil, pagan poets: Homer, Horace, Ovid, and Lucan. Lucan? I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced. Who take the pilgrim into their group. As they come closer to the light, the pilgrim perceives a splendid castle where the greatest non-Christian thinkers dwell together with other famous historical figures. Once within the castle, the pilgrim sees, among others, Electra, Aeneas, Caesar, Celadon, Aristotle, Plato, Orpheus, Cicero, Avicenna? I don't speak. It's Italian. Some of them are Italian names. I don't have a good grasp on how to pronounce them, and I apologize. Cicero, Avicenna, and Averroes. But soon they must leave, and the poets move from the radiance of the castle towards the fearful, encompassing darkness. A heavy clap of thunder. I awoke from the deep sleep that drugged my mind, startled the way one is when shaken out of sleep. I turned my rested eyes from side to side, already on my feet, and staring hard, I tried my best to find out where I was. And this is what I saw. I found myself upon the brink of grief's abysmal valley, that collects the thunderings of endless cries. So dark and deep and nebulous it was. I try as I might to force my sight below, I could not see the shape of anything. Let us descend into the sightless world, began the poet. His face was deathly pale. I will go first, and you will follow me. And I, aware of his changed color, said, But how can I go on if you are frightened? You are my constant strength when I lose heart. And he to me, The anguish of the souls that are down here paints my face with pity, which you have wrongly taken to be fear. Let us go. The long road urges us. He entered then, leading the way for me down to the first circle of the abyss. Down there, to judge only by what I heard, there were no wails, but just the sounds of sighs, rising and trembling through the timeless air. The sounds of sighs of untormented grief burdening these groups, diverse and teeming, made up of men and women and of infants. Infants?! There's infants in hell? Babies? Babies? Like, I get it's limbo, but why are there babies? Is it because they can't believe in God because they're too young? Dante, babies? That's crazy. Then the good master said, "You do not ask what sort of souls are these you see around you. Now you should know before we go on farther. They have not sinned, but their great worth alone was not enough, for they did not know baptism." Oh, it's because they weren't baptized. It's because the babies weren't baptized. That makes a little bit more sense. For they did not know baptism, which is the gateway to the faith you follow. And if they came before the birth of Christ, they did not worship God the way one should. I myself am a member of this group. For this defect, I know how the word defect is pronounced. For this defect and for no other guilt, we here are lost. In this alone we suffer, cut off from hope. We live on in desire. The words I heard weighed heavy on my heart. To think that souls as virtuous as these were suspended in that limbo and forever. Tell me, my teacher, tell me, O my master, I began, wishing to have confirmed by him the teachings of unerring Christian doctrine. Did any ever leave here through his merit or with another's help and go to bliss? And he, who understood my hidden question, answered, I was a novice in this place when I saw a mighty Lord descend to us, who wore the sign of victory as his crown. He took from us the shade of our first parent, of Abel, his good son, of Noah, too, and of obedient Moses, who made the laws. Abram, the patriarch, David the king, Israel with his father and his children, with Rachel, whom he worked so hard to win, and many more who he chose for blessedness. And you should know, before these souls were taken, no human soul had ever reached salvation. We did not stop our journey while he spoke, but continued on our way along the woods. I say the woods, for souls were thick as trees. We had not gone too far from where I woke when I made out a fire up ahead, a hemisphere of light that lit the dark. We were still at some distance from that place, but close enough for me to vaguely see the honorable souls possessed that spot. O glory of the sciences and arts, who are these souls enjoying special honor, dwelling apart from all the others here? And he to me, the honored name they bear that still resounds above in your own world, wins heaven's favor from them in this place. And as he spoke, I heard a voice announce, Now let us honor our illustrious poet. His shade that left is now returned to us. And when the voice was silent and all was quiet, I saw 4 mighty shades approaching us, their faces showing neither joy nor sorrow. Then my good master started to explain. Observe the one who comes with sword in hand, leading the 3 as if he were their master. It is the shade of Homer, sovereign poet, and coming second, Horace, the satirist. Ovid in third, and last comes Lucan. Since they all have shared one name with me, the name you heard resounding in that single voice, they honor me and do well in doing so. So I saw, gathered there, the noble school. I'm turning down the music a little bit, sorry gang, it's loud. in my ears and must be turned down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I saw, gathered there, the noble school of the master singer of sublimest verse, who soars above all others like the eagle. And after they had talked a while together, they turned and with a gesture welcomed to me, and at that sign I saw my master smile. Greater honor still they deemed to grant me. They welcomed me as one of their own group, so that I numbered sixth among such minds. We all walked together towards the shining light, discussing things that here are best kept silent, as there they were most fitting for discussion. We've reached the boundaries of a splendid castle that 7 times was circled by high walls defended by a sweetly flowing stream. Ah, 7. A number that appears so much in the Bible. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. At one point, my dad was dating a doctor in biblical studies, and one of her papers was on a specific number in the Bible. I don't remember. It was either 3, 6, or 7, and how it represented something, but I don't quite remember what. It's been quite a few years since. We walked right over it as on hard ground. Through 7 gates I passed with those wise spirits, and then we reached a meadow of fresh and bloom. There people were whose eyes were calm and grave, whose bearing told of great authority. Seldom they spoke, and always quietly. Then, moving to one side, we reached a place spread out and luminous, higher than before, allowing us to view all who were there. And right before us, on lustrous green, the mighty shades were pointed out to me. My heart felt glory when I looked at them. There was Electra, standing with a group, among whom I saw Hector, Aeneas, and Caesar, falcon-eyed and fully armed. I saw Camilla and Penthesilea. Across the way, I saw the Latian king with Lavinia, his daughter, by his side. I saw the Brutus who drove out the Tarquin, Lucretia, Julia, Marcia, and Cornelia. Off by himself, I noticed Saladin. And when I raised my eyes a little higher, I saw the master sage of those who know, sitting with his philosophic family. All gaze at him, all pay their homage to him, and there I saw both Socrates and Plato, each closer to his side than any other. Democritus, who said the world was chance, Diogenes, Thales, Anaxagoras. Oh my god, these names. They are not for my poor little Midwestern brain to understand, unfortunately. Which I know is stereotypical of me, but I do think the bit... No, it's not a bit. I really can't pronounce these names. And I'm pretty sure I have dysgraphia, which makes it harder. Empedocles, Zeno, and Heraclitus. I saw the one who classified our herbs, Dioscorides, and I saw Orpheus, Linus, Seneca, the moralist, Euclid, the geometer, Ptolemy. That name I know how to pronounce. Ptolemy, Hippocrates, Galen, Avicenna, and Avrios, who made the commentary. Ptolemy. I cannot tell about them all in full. My theme is long and urges me ahead. Often I must omit things I have seen. The company of 6 becomes just 2. My wise guide leads me by another way, out of the quiet into tempestuous air. I come into a place where no light is. Ooh. Ooh boy. That was fun. I can't pronounce names for the life of me. I can't even pronounce some very American names sometimes. We are on Kanto 5. I think we can get through this one and maybe Kanto 6 in the hour. We have a half hour remaining, so let's see how far we can get with my ongoing commentary. From Limbo, Virgil leads his ward down to the threshold of the second circle of hell, where, for the first time, he will see the damned. In hell, being punished for their sins. I almost said Sims. Yeah, they're being punished for playing The Sims, guys. There, barring their way, is the hideous figure of Minos, the bestial judge of Dante's underworld. But after strong words from Virgil! Strong words from Virgil! The poets are allowed to pass into the dark space of this circle, where can be heard the wailing voices of the lustful, whose punishment consists in being forever whirled about in a dark, stormy wind, after seeing 1,000 or more famous lovers, including Semiramis, Dido, Helen, Achilles, and Paris. Achilles? I mean, he's a famous lover, but not... I'm in a very different circle of people who know about Achilles than Dante was. That's for certain. Sorry guys, I've been having quite a bit of wrist pain. So I need to take a break for a second. I hope we're enjoying the reading. It brings me quite some joy to read aloud. It's very calming for me. My streams are usually pretty chaotic, so it's nice to have a calm stream every once in a while. And I think the middle of the week is kind of the perfect time to do that. It just gives us a nice break. Gives us a nice break, in my opinion. I lost my place. One second. If I can find where Kanto 5 begins again. I lost my place in my book because I had to adjust my wrist. Okay. Achilles in Paris. The pilgrim asks to speak to 2 figures he sees. That is true. I should definitely not. I'm very much alive. Okay. Achilles in Paris. The pilgrim asks to speak to the 2 figures he sees together. They are Francesca da Rimini and her lover Paolo. And the scene in which they appear is probably the most famous episode of the Inferno. At the end of the scene, the pilgrim, who has been overcome by pity for the lovers, faints to the ground. I flipped the page without actually reading the beginning of the poem. We can tell it's the middle of the stream because things are starting to get scuffed. This way I went, descending from the first into the second round that holds less space, but much more pain. Stinging the soul to wailing, there stands Minos, grotesquely, and he snarls, examining the guilty at the entrance. He judges and dispatches tale in coils. By this I mean oh my god. By this I mean that when the evil soul appears before him, it confesses all, and he who is the next expert judge of sins knows to what place in hell the soul belongs. The time he wraps his tail around himself tell just how far the sinner must go down. The damned keep crowding up in front of him. They pass along to judgment one by one. They speak, they hear, and then they are hurled below. O you who come to the place where pain is host, Minos spoke out when he caught sight of me, putting aside the duties of his office. Be careful how you enter and whom you trust. It is easy to get in, but don't be fooled. And my guide said to him, Why keep on shouting? Do not attempt to stop his fated journey. It is so willed there where the power is for what is willed. That's all you need to know. And now the notes of anguish start to play upon my ears, and now I find myself where sounds on sounds of weeping pound at me. I love poetry. Genuinely. I adore poetry. And like ancient poetry is just, it's so good. It's so good, and I'm so glad I get to experience it. Even now, I'm so glad it was noted and it's survived this long. I came to a place where no light shone at all, bellowing like the sea racked by a tempest, when warning winds attack it from both sides. The infernal storm, eternal in its rage, sweeps and drives the spirits with its blast. It whirls them, lashing with them with punishment. So I'm checking on something. I had that turned off. Why did I have that turned off? Okay. The bellowing, when warning winds attack it from both sides, the infernal storm, eternal in its rage, sweeps and drives the spirits with its blast. It whirls them, lashing them with punishment. When they are swept back past their place of judgment, then comes the shriek, laments, and anguished cries. There they blaspheme God's almighty power. I learned that to this place of punishment all those who sin in lust have been condemned, those who make reason slave to appetite, and as the wings of starlings in the winter bear them along in widespread crowded flocks, so does that wind propel the evil spirits. Now here, then there, and up and down it drives them, with never any hope to comfort them, hope not of rest but even of suffering less. And just like the cranes in flight, chanting their lays, stretching an endless line in their formation, I saw approaching, crying their laments, spirits carried along by the battling winds. And so I asked, Teacher, tell me, what souls are these punished in the sweep of the black wind? The first of those whose story you should know, my master wasted no time answering, was empress over lands of many tongues, Her vicious tastes had so corrupted her, she licensed every form of lust with laws to cleanse the stain of scandal that she had spread. She is Semiramis. I'm so sorry. I need to stop apologizing for my butchering of names or we're never gonna get anywhere. Who, legend says, was Ninus' wife. And as well as his successor, she governed all the land the Sultan rules. The next is she who killed herself for love and broke faith with the ashes of Zacchaeus. And there is Cleopatra, who loved men's lusting. See Helen there, the root of evil woe, lasting long years, and see the great Achilles, who's lost his life to love in final combat. See Paris, Tristan. Then, more than 1,000 he pointed out to me, and named them all, those shades whom love cut off from life on earth. After I heard my teacher call the names of all these knights and ladies of ancient times, pity confused my senses, and I was dazed. I began, Poet, I would like with all my heart to speak to those two there who move together and seem to be so light upon the winds. And he, you will see when they are closer to us, if you entreat them by that love of theirs that carries them along, they'll come to you. When the winds bent their course in our direction, I raised my voice to them. O wearied souls, come speak with us, if it be not forbidden. As doves called out by desire to return to their sweet nest, with wings raised high and poised, float downward through the air, guided by will, so these two left their flock where Dido is, and came toward us through the malignant air. Such was the tender power of my call. O living creature, gracious and so kind, who makes your way there through this dingy air to visit us who stain the world with blood. If we could claim you as friend the King of Kings, we would beseech him that he grant you peace, you who show pity for our atrocious plight. Whatever pleases you to hear or speak, we will hear, and we will speak about with you as long as the wind here where we are is silent. Whew. The place where I was born lies on the shore where the river Po, with its attendant streams, descends to seek its final resting place. Love, quick to kindle in the gentle heart, seized this one for the beauty of my body, torn from me. How it happens still offends me. Love, that excuses no one loved from loving, seized me so strongly with delight in him that, as you see, he never leaves my side. Love led us straight to sudden death together. Kinda waits for us. Waits for us. Kinda awaits the one who quenched our lives. These were the words that came from them to us. When those offended souls had told their story, I bowed my head and kept it bowed until the poet said, "What are you thinking of?" When finally I spoke, alas, all those sweet thoughts, and oh, how much desiring, these brought these two down into this agony. And then I turned to them and tried to speak. I said, "Francesca, the torment that you suffer brings painful tears of pity to my eyes. But tell me, in that time of your sweet sighing, how and by what signs did love allow you to recognize your dubious desires?" And she to me, "There is no greater pain than to remember in our present grief past happiness, as well your teacher knows. But if your great desire is to learn the very root of such a love as ours, I shall tell you, but in words of flowing tears. One day we read to pass the time away of Lancelot, of how he fell in love. We were alone, innocent of suspicion. Time and again our lives were brought together by the book we read, our faces flushed and paled. To the moment of one line alone we yielded. It was when we read about those longed-for lips now being kissed by such a famous lover that this one, who shall never leave my side, then kissed my mouth and trembled as he did. O Galahad, who our Galahad was that book, and he who wrote it that day we read no further, and all the while the one of two spirits spoke these words, the other wept in such a way that pity blurred my senses. I swooned as though to die, and fell to hell's floor as a body dead falls. I love Arthurian legend so much. So it's so... Apparently... I love Arthurian legend so much. It makes me so happy to see them here. Even mentioned. I love it when they're referenced. As they should be. Perhaps one day I will find a book of Arthurian poetry to read on stream. I will have to look into that. Yes! Absolutely it is! Oh. It inspired me to attempt to learn Welsh, but, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I have dysgraphia, and that made learning English hard, like, as a small child, so it would probably be pretty difficult. Like, it's been pretty difficult for me to try and learn other languages, so, yeah. It is something, I know a few words, but I can't pronounce them very well. I can say, no sta prinhaunda, like good night, good afternoon. Hoffy coffee, like coffee, which I think is fun. There's some pretty good videos about it on YouTube for learning like basic words. I tried to use Duolingo, but Duolingo is it's not great for actually learning languages. I might get some I might see about getting some like workbooks and learning it that way. Look up language learning tips and stuff. It's a pretty interesting language. Also, there's a dragon on their flag. Ooh. Yes. It's a really good flag. I'm actually writing a book that it's so interesting. It has, it's not gonna be very accurate. It's gonna be like a mix of Arthurian legend, Greek mythology has some in there. It also has vampires and werewolves. But the characters in it are very near and dear to me. So non-copyright music playlist I've used for the past couple of streams, like before this. Um, so like for Dreamlight streams, I've used them. Um, um, my partner, I think, is going to join me soon. Um, hello, love.
Hello.
I've been talking to chat. We took a pause in reading to talk to chat.
Hell yeah. Sorry that I didn't respond at all. I was like locked in.
No, you're incredibly fine, my love.
Yippee.
Let me turn on your name. Are your pronouns is he him still good for your pronouns on there? Or do you want it changed?
It's still good.
Okay. We were talking about my background music, how I have a few different playlists that I use for my streams.
Hell yeah.
I got to talk about the book I'm writing with the fantasy one that I'm writing for a little bit because we were talking about Arthurian legend and stuff. Because they mentioned, so we're reading Dante's Inferno. We got through 2 cantos. 3? I think we got through 3 because we started with canto. We got through 3, which I think is good for today. But I think we're gonna keep, unless chat wants to read more, in which case we will read more. Because I said we were gonna stop at the hour mark, and it has been an hour. But I don't know. I'm having a good time.
Hell yeah.
So we are on canto 6 of Dante's Inferno. Nah, I don't need to rest my voice. I'm so good. I have Sunday to rest my voice. I talk a lot anyway, even if I'm not on stream. So okay. Let's keep reading then. Canto 6. They were in, to catch you up, my love, they were in the Circle of Lust. And Dante fell unconscious, which he does a lot, from what I understand.
Should I I should ask first. Should I have any warnings for anything? Or am I good?
I don't know. I've never actually read Dante's Inferno before. This is my first time reading the book. They're in hell.
I have also never experienced it, so.
They're in hell.
Yeah.
General hell-related stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay, I think I'm good. Hopefully.
So, how I'm doing this, my love, I'm reading the description of the poem that is right before it, and then I read the poem. Okay. Canto 6. On recovering consciousness, the pilgrim finds himself with Virgil in the third circle, where the gluttons are punished. These shades are mired in filthy muck and are eternally battered. Oh my god, I almost said bathe. Are eternally battered by cold and dirty hail, rain, and snow. Soon the travelers come upon Cerberus, the three-headed dog-like beast. He's just a good boy, guy.
Yeah, just a boy.
He's just a good
the big
boy.
doggy.
Dog-like, dog-like beast who guards the gluttons, but Virgil pacifies him with fistfuls of slime, and the two poets pass on. One of the shades recognizes Dante the pilgrim and hails him. It is Siaco? I a a Florentine who, before they leave, makes a prophecy concerning the political future of Florence. As the poets move away, the pilgrim questions Virgil about the Last Judgment and other matters until the two arrive at the next circle. Regaining now my senses, which had fainted at the sight of these two who were kinsmen lovers, a piteous sight confusing me to tears. New suffering and new sinners' suffering appeared to me, no matter where I moved or turned my eyes, no matter where I gazed. I am in the third circle, in the round of rain, eternal, cursed, cold, and falling heavy. Unchanging beat, unchanging quality, thick hail and dirty water mixed with snow come down in torrents through their murky air, and the earth is stinking from this soaking rain. Cerberus, a ruthless and fantastic beast, with all three throats howls out his dog-like sounds above the drowning sinners of this place. His eyes are red. His eyes are red. His beard is slobbered black. What beard? He's a dog!
Whoa, what? No, pause. What?
Why's this dog got a beard? Why's this dog got a beard?
Guys.
There's an ad break happening, so we're gonna... Oh, I love what my stream freezes. I love that.
Oh.
I love my stream freezing. I,
Yeah? Sorry.
I'm going... No, you're good. I am going to, I think, get some water real fast.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm
Stay
gonna...
hydrated.
Let me add... Okay, I return. I have my water, which I should have gotten before stream started.
Welcome back, my love.
While we're here, I'm gonna... my love, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Go to my stream and,
Sure.
send a message in chat for me so I can check something?
Oh, I wonder which account I will be on. Do I need to be on a specific account?
No, if you're on...
Except two.
Either way, I can... If the thing... I can... Either one will work.
Okay.
Hey, look at that! It's a link for my Discord server. Which, there we go. It's a link to my Discord server. You don't have to join, but it is very much appreciated. Awesome. That is so cool. Very much appreciated. Alright. Oh, hell yeah. That is so awesome. Thank you very much.
I really like the fireplace, by the way. Anyways.
Thank you. I found it on Google. I looked up fireplace background GIF, and I do pronounce it GIF. That is the right way to pronounce it. I will fight people on that. All right. Back we go into the inferno. His eyes are red, his beard is slobbered black, his belly swollen, and he has claws for hands. He rips the spirits, flays and mangles them. Under the rain they howl like dogs, lying now on one side with the other as a screen, now on the other turning these wretched sinners. When the slimy Cerberus caught sight of us, he opened up... Which, is the music a good volume? Does it need to be louder or quieter? I can adjust that. It's good? Awesome. When the slimy Cerberus caught sight of us, he opened his mouths and showed his fangs. His body was one mass of twitching muscles. My master stooped and spread wide his fingers. He grabbed up heaping fistfuls of the mud and flung it down into those greedy gullets. As a howling cur, hungering to get fed, quiets down with the first mouthful of his food, busy with eating, wrestling with that alone. So it was with all three filthy heads of the demon Cerberus used to barking thunder on these dead souls who wished that they were deaf. He walked across this marsh of shades beaten down by the heavy rain, our feet pressing on their emptiness that looked like human form. Each sinner there was stretched out on the ground, except for one who quickly sat up straight, the moment that he saw us passing by. Oh, you there, being led through this inferno, he said. Try to remember who I am, for you had life before I gave up mine. I said, the pain you suffer here perhaps disfigures you beyond all recognition. I can't remember seeing you before. But tell me who you are, assigned to grieve in this sad place, afflicted by such torture, that, worse there well may be, but none more foul. Your own city, he said, so filled with envy, its cup already overflows the brim, once held me in the brighter life above. You citizens gave me the name of Siasa? And for my sin of gluttony I am damned, as you can see, to reign that beats me weak. And my sad, sunken soul is not alone, for all these sinners here share in my pain and in my sin. And that was his last word. Siaso, I said to him, your grievous state weighs down upon me. It makes me want to weep. But tell me what will happen if you know, to the citizens of that divided state, and are there any honest men among them? And tell me, why is it so plagued with strife? And he replied, after much contention, they will come to bloodshed. The rustic party will drive the other out by brutal means. Then it will come to pass, this side will fall within 3 sons, and the other rise to power, with the help of one now listing toward both sides. For a long time they will keep their heads raised high, holding the others down with crushing weight, no matter how these weep or squirm for shame. Two just men there are, but no one listens, for pride, envy, avarice are the 3 sparks that kindle in men's hearts and set them burning. With his mournful words came to an end, but I spoke back. There's more I want to know. I beg you to provide me with more facts. Fernata and Tagahayo, who were so worthy, Jacopo Resticutia, Arrigo Mosca, and all these rest so bent on doing good. Where are they? Tell me what's become of them. One great desire tortures me to know whether they taste heaven's sweetness or hell's gall. They lie below with blacker souls, he said, by different sins pushed down to different depths. If you keep going, you may see them all. But when you are once more in the sweet world, I beg you to remind our friends of me. I speak no more I answer you. He twisted his straight gaze into a squint and stared a while at me, then bent his head, falling to join his other sightless peers. My guide then said to me, he'll wake no more until the day the angel's trumpet bellows, when the unfriendly judge shall come down here. Each soul shall find again his wretched tomb, assume his flesh and take his human shape, and hear his fate resound eternally. And so we made our way through the filthy mess of muddy shades and slush, moving slowly, talking a little about the afterlife. I said, Master, will these torments be increased or lessened on the final judgment day, or will the pain be just the same as now? And he, remember your philosophy, the closer a thing comes to its perfection, more keen will it be its pleasure or its pain. Although this cursed race of punished souls shall never know the joy of true perfection, more perfect will their pain be then than now. We circled around that curving road while talking of more than I shall mention at this time, and came to where the ledge begins descending. There we found Plutus, mankind's archenemy. Remember, the closer a thing comes to its perfection, more keen will be its pleasure or its pain. I need to remember. Is that a Stormfall reference? I have brain worms. Chat, I have. If you haven't, if you didn't know, or you haven't watched it, I'm in a Minecraft SMP called Stormfall. The point of it is that there is a group of beings, humanoid beings, called the Chosen. They were selected by the goddess Jistu to restart humanity, so it may one day reach perfection. At least that's what they've been told. there are a few VODs from it. Oh, that was interesting. That was interesting to watch. There are a few VODs from it on my YouTube channel, which is the same as this, except instead of 014, the number is 924. I haven't had an opportunity to change that yet. But there is more of the story on the YouTube channel Shawnee Morris Art, all lowercase, from his character's perspective. His character is named Finreyes. Mine is named Rosie. And they are lovely. At the beginning, I was using she, they pronouns for Rosie. But just recently, I have realized I'm uncomfortable now playing characters with she pronouns, so Rosie exclusively uses they, them, now. So, yeah. My character is a tiny little moth. Tiny little moth, like, humanoid, but, with Rosie Maple moth antenna and wings. Hell yeah. I'll have to be more active in my Discord server, I think. Talk to you all a bit more. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop reading, because we've come to Kanto 7, we've passed the hour mark, but we can talk more, just about random things. We talked a little bit about, Arthurian legend, a little bit about learning Welsh. I am going to move us to the just chatting category. Which I can do from OBS. Ah! I'm knocking over stuff on my desk. At least it wasn't my microphone.
You okay?
Yeah, I knocked over my perfume bottle, but at least it wasn't my water bottle, which I'm closing now, or my microphone, which is usually what I knock over. Is there any? All right. I will see you. We'll see you when you get back, chat. How are you doing, my love?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Ugh. I'm doing a stretch. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Does that cost money? Yeah, that
How are
costs
you doing?
I am doing a-okay. I'm gonna drink some more water, I think. I'm feeling very calm. I like doing reading streams.
Is a conversation with Jeremy Howard. He's the founder
Thank you.
of Fast
I don't
AI.
want a conversation. I'm gonna restart this playlist now.
Oh,
Restarting my because there's a video at the end of it. It's like talking, and I was like, we're trying to listen to music here. Here's a classical music
Like
playlist.
we get to yap, you don't get to yap. But
Yeah,
add to the video.
exactly, exactly.
Floor time.
Floor time?
Floor time.
Hell yeah, love floor time. Sometimes you just gotta be silly with the vocal stems. I checked out a couple books from the library today. They're very fun. Both of them queer. Both of them yaoi.
Names?
So the one I started reading first is called The Darkness Outside of Us. It takes place in space. And then the other one, which my mom found for me, is called The Tides Within, which I think takes place at Coney Island and has a merman. It's called When the Tides Held the Moon.
Oh. The audio is kind of... Discord is being mean to me.
Oh, it's called... I'll send you a picture of it after stream, my love.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds good.
Um... ba 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 ba.
Ba, 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 ba.
Is there anything you want to talk about, my love?
I do not know. Sorry.
No, you're good. What do you think of Dante's Inferno so far? The little bit you've heard. You came in.
Oh, it's very interesting. I think that I probably should look into it from the beginning so that I'll understand. But
Yeah.
I like how it's written.
At some point you can definitely borrow my copy. So, I'll let you borrow my copy of it. If you would like that. But, Discord be nice to me challenge. It's a really interesting read from a non-Christian perspective. I think it might also be interesting from a Christian perspective, but that's not the perspective I have.
I got you.
I've never read the Bible. I've barely been to church. But it is like, it's fun because I was talking about this earlier. It shows the difference, the like transitional. It talks a lot about like what am I saying? It has a lot of Greco-Roman characters in it, but most of them are
Ooh.
in hell or like have been changed to be like some guardian of the gate. Like they had the Charon, the ferryman. They have. We saw.
The Hellhound.
We saw
yeah.
Cerberus.
Cerberus, yeah.
It mentioned the river that erases your memory that I don't remember what it's called, and I just read that.
Is that the River Styx, or is that something else?
No, the River Styx is the River of Souls.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't remember what it's called. And the reason I usually remember what it's called is really cringy, and I'm not gonna say it on stream.
You could DM me. I'm curious.
I'll put it in the VC chat. Actually, no, I am just gonna DM it to you. I think.
I love you.
I love you too.
You know what? Hell yeah.
It was really well written. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah.
That is not what I was expecting whenever you said cringy.
Is it not cringy though?
Not to me, but I thoroughly enjoy Sparkle Dogs and other things, so I don't think that
That's fair.
I'm the person to ask. I'm the one solo. I like the one solo. Anyways, continue.
I am thinking about my book again. I like my book. I'm writing 2 books.
Oh, I need to know more.
So I'll talk more in depth about them with you like off stream because spoilers and stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
But like one of them they're very different because one of them is like fantasy, is like queer romance fantasy, medieval King Arthur mixed with like vampires, werewolves, Greek mythology, and one of them is like modern dark fantasy, alternate dimensions.
Oh fuck yeah.
Maybe some body horror because I fuck heavy with body horror.
Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah.
But they're very interesting to me. I love all of my characters very much. If we're gonna talk about books, shall we talk about our shall we talk about what our favorite books are? My love, what's your favorite book?
Yeah, I don't actually have one, but I can list a couple because I'm currently staring at my bookshelf.
Okay.
I love the series Wings of Fire because I am obsessed with dragons. I I like Vampire Kisses, which is a really it's a very interestingly written book series. It's kind of you know oh shit, I don't remember her name. It's really hard to say. The whatever you think of like edgy Tumblr aesthetic, like fanfic, the very talked about one. I can't fucking remember
Twilight?
what it is. Huh?
Like My Immortal?
Yeah, I think it's kind
It's
of
written
like
like My
like...
Immortal? That's so funny.
it's like comical in the way that it's written, and I fucking love it. Very edgy, very like teen angst edge, but like just fluff. It's straight. It's a strip and a half, honestly.
That's so funny. My favorite books, my number one favorite book of all time, which you already know because I talk about it all the time. I have posters of it on my wall and like 2 shirts for it, soon to be more. I have a keychain charm for it. Is Telephone Game and Telephone Game 2 by Shawnee Morris. You can pick it up on Amazon. If you go to his website, which I believe is shawneemorrisart.com, let me double check that. I want his website specifically. There's their family website, but I want his website.
I should really write more. I have written a book before, but not like published or anything, just... And I've written a lot, honestly. Mostly on paper, so it's a little bit more difficult to share.
I wonder if I will get in trouble
I
for
also
posting.
have one that I have up on the website, but I'll remember
Okay,
which one.
so... Well, I knocked my microphone off my desk.
Oh.
This is probably why I need a new microphone cord. Anyway, will it let me post that? Yes. Okay. There's his website where he has commissions open and he has a bunch of merch. And he's a really cool artist. And he has 3 books currently out. They are 4, because he has MIA, MIA 2, Telephone Game, and Telephone Game 2. Gotta promote my friend. And then I also really like A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time is one of my favorite books of all time. Really, I think it's really
It is a good book.
I think it's really well written. The story is intriguing. The main characters are awesome. it's a very fun read. Artemis Fowl, that I've read the first book and some of the second book. Those are really good. Obvious Percy Jackson mention. God, what other books do I like? It's kind of there's some dubious subplots surrounding the main character. The Mortal Instruments series, by Cassandra Clare. That's pretty good. Oh, the Hades and Persephone series. God, what is? Like the first one is A Touch of Darkness. That is a adult book series, but it is very good in my opinion. So I read a lot. Can you tell I read a lot?
Yes. I really like Redwall.
Yeah? What's that about?
It is, about, it's very, okay, I'm gonna pick up the book, so my brain stops going all over the place.
That's so fair.
It is very based around just animal characters, like mice and stuff. It is very war-centric. Also, it is very much written, I don't know how to say this, like, kind of southern, but not, like, the way that the animals talk is kind of hilarious.
Amazing.
If I could flip through a page, maybe.
I love that.
Here she come, if'n you please. Straight from the text.
It's like
Yeah.
old Southern.
Yeah, it's great, honestly.
That's so
It gives me a lot of
cool.
comfort because my mom used to read it to me.
Aw, that's cute. I think if I can figure out how to do it, I'm gonna raid out to Molly Mellix, who is currently playing Minecraft. I just have to figure out how to do that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, there we go. I figured it out. Okay, I'm gonna do that now. Bye, chat!
Bye, chat!